When you are able to have witnessed what we saw here, what we met on ground, and what we're having today, you start asking yourself questions. Are there been management in this institution? That becomes the question. That's the core question one might be tempted to ask. Because if I were to be the director those days, I don't think I can sleep. I will find it difficult to sleep. And if I were to be posted there as a member of council, then I don't think I could also sleep because things were not just good. That is why each time I thank the governor, I also extend such thanks to the members of the governing council for bringing up the right policies and making our job easy for us. Walking through the institution, the Polytechnic, you could also see that we have retrofitted almost all the buildings on campus, from the PKH to the ABC block to the GH block to the engineering block to the sports complex, and then the uninhabited science block is now a reality that people can stay and have lectures and have offices at the science block. We look at our classroom before now, those places, what Dr. Alex Otti met at ABSU, if had been that Dr. Alex Otti visited here before we started work here, he will weep. If he wept what he saw in ABSU as to being where they are living, the classrooms were worse than those hostels. I have the pictures. The pictures are still here with me. The classrooms then were worse than what you saw in others. The classrooms. Our lecturers were subjected to all form of inhuman environment. Lecturers will be teaching and be sweating like chicken. People who took their time to go through trainings, polytechnic and universities acquired PhDs for 10, 15 years, and they were being treated as if they were not human beings. It's just too bad. The neglect could be unthinkable. That is why each time, if I ruminate over these things, I become too emotional. You now start asking yourself questions. Why will human beings be inhuman to their fellow human beings? You have an office as director, you sit in the comfort of a good office. Even the principal officers, the bursar, registrar, they were all suffering. The first time I entered the registrar's office, registrar, you could attest to that. Registrar, how could you be staying in such an office? The kind of rock you see there, all those Arabic drugs or rocks of 1901 that could cause sickness. And that is the first point of visit of anybody coming into this institution. And today, our principal officers have good offices. I one begin to wonder what these people were thinking about all this while. I wouldn't want to be direct or indirect or to allege anything, but in anything we do, we should also remember that we are accountable to God in heaven. Whatever you want to be done to you is very, very straight. Do it towards others. And with the help of His Excellency, we swan into action. And today, at least, though it's not yet to rule, but we know we'll still get there. We have crossed the zero level. Before, we have attained the zero level, but we have crossed the zero level now, and we are trajecting very, very far. Before long, by the grace of God, we could understand that we'll get to the zenith. The assurance we give His Excellency is very simple, that we don't want to make here one of the best institutions. We want to make here the best. A model, a standard, not just for institutions in Nigeria, but institutions in the whole of Africa. It is our dream, it is our desire, and we know our God who lives in heaven will do it for us. In the area of infrastructure. We we've been able to show some of these things, but for the matriculation exercise that will happen on tomorrow, there are two places of interest that we are here to display very well. That is the auditorium. This auditorium was the foundation was laid during the convocation, during the just before no during the there was this lecture we had sometime in November, inaugural lecture in November. That was when we laid the foundation of this science, this lecture theatre, the first lecture theatre in this polytechnic since 33 years of this institution. 33 years after, we're having our first lecture theatre. And to the glory of God, this lecture theatre, after 4 months, will be commissioned tomorrow. And I was discussing with members of management this morning about issue of skill acquisition policies. I'm now in policies. Of course, the whole essence of a polytechnic and polytechnic education is to develop people who are in tune to practicals. We are not like universities. In polytechnic, like we have our mass communication students doing this, that is what they do. That is what they are supposed to be doing. And we are making all efforts to ensuring that practical is the intent. Today we have a creative art hub today. I don't know the place where you have visited that place. You need to go and see our creative art hub. I don't think any institution presently in Nigeria has kind of equipment we have in our art hub. And we are not stopping there. We are still acquiring. Some other equipment like their digital cameras and whatever just arrived last week. They are here. I have them in the office. And then we're expanding more on that. In order to ensure that skill is the intent, we have also been able to send some of our staff, members of staff. I think we sent about 18 or so for quality assurance. I think about 15 have qualified as quality assessors. So that this institution, apart from offering diploma certificates, another diploma certificate, will also be giving skill certificate in skill acquisition. That is in NSQ, level 1 and level 2. Today also another interest I want us to see is the new skill acquisition center where we have equipped with equipment in fashion and also in leather. We also have the plumbing section and then the concrete work section. We have equipment. We acquired the equipment of over 400 million naira to equip these areas. And then we are not stopping there. We want our students to know what is skills, not just knowing, to do it, to practicalize it. Our CPT center is now one of the best you can find in other states. Before now, there was nothing like a CPT center when we came in here. And today, with the help of His Excellency, Dr. Alex Otti, we have a very standard CPT center. This time around, just the last month, the judge just concluded the teacher recruitment exercise. Our center happened to be one of the centers that was used. In fact, our center had the highest number of persons who came for the examination, about 3,150 did the examination here, out of the just roughly about 11,000 from 5 centers. So what our center accommodated is something close, just about 35% of the total number of persons that sat for the test. Policies, we have also implemented issues of clearance. Students no longer pass through rigorous stress in having their certificates. Of course, you know that sometime 1st of June 2024, we abolished the issuance of statement of results. So once you are done here, you have your certificates. And those rigorous processes of moving from here to here to here to here, no, we cancel all those things to certain degrees to make sure our students have their results in record time. Of course, it might interest you that our students that just graduated, some of them are being mobilized for youth service as at this first batch. So we are doing everything possible to make sure that the right policies are being put in place. We have introduced new programs on campus, and then we are also ensuring that the right things are being done. The sale of textbooks in the Polytechnic have been moderated. Students are no longer being extorted. And of course, if adventure will get anybody who have not decided to do what is right, the person will face the full weight of the law. And we have no apologies as to that because we believe that the right things must be done. Nobody is permitted to frustrate the efforts of His Excellency Dr. Allen Chomoroti to give to Ndabia what is best. So stop at nothing to make sure that such a person who wants to be involved in such thing will face the full weight of the law. We, with the help of His Excellency also, we have ensured we have ensured that issues relating to notional promotion has been abolished on campus. Before now, people were promoted without financial benefits. So that policy has been abolished. So when people get promoted, the financial benefits are also there for them. And of course, in terms of policies, we are also collaborating with a lot of institutions, a lot of private sector, for, people from the informal sector and formal sector have been coming to us for collaborations in different areas. And then these collaborations are what is waiting good. And we are doing all our best to make sure that all these things are done. Just about 2 weeks ago, we had visitors from the IDIs, and then we started to talk with them, and then they also giving us, we are one of the 7 institutions that has been selected for the IDIs projects in Nigeria. And then we are among the 34 polytechnics or institutions in Nigeria that have been selected for the SkillG 2024-2025 for them to bring equipment for training of our students. The Polytechnic, as a way of policy and enhancing capacity, skill of our staff, is involved in training and retraining of our staff. We will be having training of our technologists and lecturers in May 2025 so that they will be able to understand the use of this equipment that we have so far acquired. Of course, it's one thing to get the equipment, it's another thing to make use of them. And for you to make proper use of them, you must be informed. So our technologists and lecturers will be passing through this training, which has been approved by His Excellency, Dr. Alex Chioma Oti, to make sure that these people that want to teach our children know what to teach. And then I think it's also a good one. And then attitude. Of course, for us to have what is the best, you can only pass on to people what you have. When we got in here, there was a lot of division among members of staff. And this division even transcended to students and the way things are being done here. I am of Paul, I am of Apollos. And this is not what is supposed to be in a citadel of learning of this type. But we thank God today that these things are no longer there. These some factors brought about that. And the major factor that brought about that, or major factors that brought about that have been what addressed. Of course, it will interest you that His Excellency commenced the payment of the arrears, 34-month arrears owed staff of this institution by the past administration. And as of today, His Excellency have paid 21 months. And then we believe that in the coming month, within the next 3 months, 4 months precisely, the remaining arrears will be cleared. We have also commenced the payment of arrears and death benefits of people that had either died or left or resigned or retired from this institution. As Excellency promised, these things have been carried out. Just last week, basically on the 20th of March 2025, the Excellency graciously approved the promotion of staff members in ONU Polytechnic. Some persons have not been promoted since 2008. That is 17 years. The last notional promotion happened here in 2018. Notional. And the last promotion with financial benefit happened there in 2012. It therefore means that what people were earning in 2012, even as a chief lecturer, is what the person must have been earning 12, about 13 years ago. It was quite bad. Man inhumanity to man. So that was why I, when the other time I wrote to my one of my other brothers who communicated to the vice chancellor, to the rector, to the governor. I think you must have seen that, you saw that with this day newspaper yesterday. I said, this, the process, the healing process, have just what begun. It takes time to heal, no matter how we pretend. People were injured, people were wounded, and each time you come out, you see this injury, you don't feel good, you feel bad. Some persons used us against ourselves. People who were friends became enemies overnight. People who could wine and dine and sit down together to do what is right and to develop institutions saw themselves as enemies. And you don't expect enemies to work together to develop a system. But thanks to His Excellency, Dr. Otti, who has given us fresh of red air and have brought peace to this institution, making us to know that when we work together in love and harmony, we can develop an institution. And we believe that God will continue to strengthen us, and give us the grace to put this institution, to continue to push this institution in the right trajectory. And I want to also thank the press, members of the press, for coming around and for reporting things the way they are in this institution. Of course, if you don't tell the larger society what we've been doing here, it might be difficult for them to know what we've been doing here. So I want to thank members of the press for always putting up the right things and showing the world how we are today. And may God continue to strengthen you. So I want to thank each and every one of us, while I pray that God in heaven will continue to bless us. In the name of God the Father, of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. You brought out about, I think you mentioned you have three issues of concern. First, plans for the Osisioma campus. But I didn't my address, I didn't mention it. I think it was an oversight. I think I just mentioned and then crossed it. His Excellency Dr. Alejomuti approved that work should commence at the Osisioma campus. At least if you pass through there, you will see that work have actually commenced. So our work is ongoing. And then we, of course, you know what the governor can do. He's a man that gives to his words, his promises. At least you can see our signpost there. And then the site clearing also commenced. And then perimeter fencing, like you did observe. So work is ongoing there. And then we did believe that in no distant time, in fact, there is continuous work ongoing. We believe that before the end of this year, we should be able to start making use of that particular campus. And I can assure you that at least 8 buildings will be commissioned during our next convocation in November this year by the grace of God in that summer campus. I think I can take this word to the bank. 8 buildings at least will be commissioned. Then issue of internal roads. Yes, of course, we have a governor who is also an economist, and then we it's important. The governor did mention the issue of internal roads, and then we have our movement to Sisioma, and then to sustain this place, some other units are supposed to stay here while we move over to Sisioma. So I did mention to the governor that it's important we spend the bulk of the money for internal roads to develop the internal road at Osisioma. That is why they have done scoping of the road at Osisioma. That is why it was not done here. I was the one who suggested that since we move over to Osisioma permanently and here all few departments here, when you are building a new house, it's important you move in there fresh and fine. So since it was the building of internal roads in the Polytechnic is captured in the approved budget. It's important we channel our strength more in the summer campus. While we do some palliative work here in the Aba campus to make sure that we also make use of what's happening there. So the palliative work will be done here, but the actual construction, road construction, will be at Osisioma, and then the Ministry of Work have already done the scoping. So, and that is that on that road. Issue of attendance. Yes, actually, you have members of the management and then deans and the deans that are here. If you bring in everybody, everybody will be present. But of course, examination is going on for those in HND too. And then some people are having their lectures and other things are happening. That is why those of them in sports have traveled to Ofa for the Nipoga games. That is why we have this number here. But if you still want more number, I wouldn't mind. I'll just put a call across and so, so maybe it's important, maybe there's nothing we cannot expect from His Excellency Dr. Lens. Don't be surprised if he gave them money to give to us and they're looking at our number being small. Still leave the money, you can still take it. So that is that for Mr. Mukoma. Then Chinedu Kelechi. We talked about students' access to books. I did mention here, one of the basic problems or one of the things that have increased the costs of training students in public school is cost of textbooks. Not just about this polytechnic. I have been a lecturer in Michael Opera. Apart from the part-time section, in the full-time section, I have never sold a book, not even a page, to a student. I've never. The records are there. Let me just digress a bit to tell you the dangers in some of these books. Most of them are pirated work. They go online, copy, paste. And then when these people grow to become heads of departments or deans, they will change the whole curriculum to favor the books they are writing. It also reduces level of productivity and it also brings about rancor because people will teach courses that have larger number of students because they want to sell book, not because they want to teach the students. They want to sell book. That's just that. And of course, you cannot be diving for two things at the same time. Either you want to pass knowledge or you want to attract money. They are two things. And you define what you want. So now the sale of book have pushed a lot of persons against the whole essence of being here, transfer of knowledge, into milking of students, replication of courses. Instead of students offering 9 courses, they're offering 15. Because issue of okay, let there not be problem. We'll take this one. I take this one. We take this one. They are not taking because they want to impart knowledge. They are taking because they want to collect money from students. And the money will be collected first semester, collected second semester. Somebody whose school fee is 53,000 at the end of the session will spend 200,000 buying books and manual. And you tell them education is cheap in Abia State because Dr. Alex has made this. Though it's not true. It's very expensive. I keep on asking these questions and students keep on bringing this to me. They will buy books and they will buy manual for the same cost. And it's at the end of the day, these lecturers don't teach these things. And they will make it, if you don't buy, you become their enemy and they look for a way to victimize you. But I have said it. I know some lecturers might want to try might want to attempt what I will do. I will do something because one night the Rosie Lejoko Abakipo, His Excellency have sent me to correct these things. And I will stop at nothing. I will stop at nothing to make sure that students that in Dabia are not being exploited. Anybody who feels he cannot teach here should resign. What I will assure them by the grace of God is that I will always go to the governor to plead for their welfare. And there's nothing I've asked the governor regarding their welfare he has not done. A man that could sit and pay you arrears of 36 months. What he did, what he's doing is only Jesus Christ that could do it. So as a Christian who is following the footsteps of Jesus Christ, that is what he is doing. Somebody kept your promotion for 17 years, and somebody is coming to inherit that thing and has agreed to step you up, making the wage bill times two. Who will do that kind of thing? And if such a man is doing that kind of thing, and what he's asking is, don't sell book. What else? Should you be saying? Should you want to go against what is right? So this issue of book, each time, like yesterday when I was talking about that orientation, see the kind of joy. Most lecturers, they collect this money beforehand. And these books don't even get to the students at the end of the day. And these students don't read these books. Because to them, what is important is the money. But when a lecturer don't have books to sell, what happens? The lecturer will take time to go and read, to come and teach. Because one, they're not coming to class to flip page chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. Okay, do assignment, summarize page 1 to 5. And when those things are summarized, that is what they do. But when you don't have your book, when you are coming to class, you go and read. Either you read the ones people have written or you go online. And when you have materials, you give to your students. Please, these materials, read up these materials. In the next class, we'll discuss. Do this assignment. You'll be interested to teach them. And that is what I want here. As I did today, last academic board, the board approved and abolished the sale of textbook in second semesters. For now, it is a crime. Anybody found selling book in second semester have gone contrary to the law of this institution, and the person will be sacked. There's no two ways about it. If I see the person today, within 3 hours, I will call for this very committee to meet and sack the person. Go to court, wait for you in court. But there's no apology whatsoever. And then when we are done, we'll clean second semester, we'll come to first semester and start looking at the books we can sell. If you have 3 books, you match the 3 of them and sell 1. We cannot exploit our children. These people are passing through a lot. So that you said to come to school does not mean you have committed any evil. It is not evil to come to school. And this is not just about our polytechnic, it's everywhere. But something good must start somewhere. And we have decided to lead this crusade of something good. Other polytechnics and institutions may wish to join us or continue in the darkness. It is their choice. But for us, we have chosen to do what is right. They are left with the alternative. When the Bible, at some point, the Bible said, I presented before you good and evil. And the Bible did not force us to take good. So it's not be left for you. If you say good is for you, if you think bad is for you, it's all your choice. So those things are no longer here. So access to books, we have a lot of books in that library. A lot. For some of them cannot even be on the shelves. And we keep buying because Stephen keep giving us because you must get it. Those books are not meant for coaches and rats. They are for human beings. Students should go there and the lecturers. I remember the university I attended. You make use of the library. And when you come to library, you see your lecturers in the library with you. What we used to do those days, some of us that are very smart will be looking at the lecturers to know the books they are using. Once they use and drop it, you carry that one. Because you know that is where their examples are coming from. It's true. You know, we always we just put ourselves, he has gone to library, we wait for him. And then once they collect, you go and look for that entry and go and look at the name. Oh, he has carried. And then at times, you know, when you read a book and flip it to the page, that place will be open, showing that somebody have read. You will mark, you will look at it as it drops, you carry it. You read this line, so this line you can read it. At least it makes you to think of what to do. But because lecturers we no longer read, so we want to bring back this culture back to the system. So there are books there. E-library is there for our students. E-books are there for them to use. And you know the Wi-Fi system have not been that effective, but we are making sure that is improving. But we have not gotten to where we want to get to. And we've told the provider that we'll give them all the support so that our students, wherever you are, can have access to books and have access to the internet so that they can, once you walk into this environment, you can be able to make use of whatever. Before now, our students don't want to stay in classrooms because those things were not classrooms. They were not even manger. They were worse than the manger. But today, they can happily stay in classrooms because their classrooms are tired. They have seats, they have fans, and then they can gladly stay there. Sometimes I walk in there to look at it and I feel very happy because I know what it used to be. Before, once lecture is over, within 1 minute, everybody is out. How can you stay under dust? You want to kill yourself. But these days, you see them, when they know they stay there. In fact, it got to a point where it became a crime in this school too for students to charge phone in classrooms. I don't know if you're getting me. And now you have your laptops. How do you ensure that laptop will make use of? It's not for you to charge them. It became a crime. They pushed it to SUG government of this school. The students are penalized for charging gadgets in classrooms. I start wondering, have you gotten this bad? But today, I've been told those in America you need to put more sockets for them around. So that if you don't have light at home, come to the classroom and charge. At least when you're in the classroom sitting down, it will occur to you to open your book to read. It will occur to you to socialize. It will occur to you to do other things, so that you don't go and be staying in your room. So that is that on that. Issue of students with special needs and then measures for support. Of course, yes, every institution is supposed to have a department, a unit for that. I think during one of the when we are talking about the issue of this lecture theatre and then the steepness of whatever they built and they showed us the other part which was okay. This issue of student with special need, I was really informed that if that there are the though there is no department for now that is in charge of that. But I want to also believe that when we have people that have special, depending on whether it is the issues with their sight or probably I think you are talking about those who are physically challenged, depending on the nature of the challenge, I think we are able to the task. Whatever, if you have any, for now I don't think we have any. If we have any, I think we have what it takes to to have. But until we get to that bridge, I'm very much sure that we'll cross it. Um, from this year, attitudinal change on the side of students. Yes, of course you can see this change is all round change. It is not just for members of staff or just for the buildings, infrastructure. The students, in as much as we are trying to improve on their lifestyle, on the things, on their well-being, change for them. Students are the ones who are now reporting some of these things that have been happening. Before now, the fear was in them. If you report, you are finished. Students can now openly, even during the orientation, openly report these things. Because why? We have given them this sense of belonging. that you have this backing from us, you have this backing from the state government, that nobody will do you any harm. So we have been able to change their mind and attitude towards understanding that these things will only destroy you. These things cannot make you a better you. And they are coming up. Say, no, you cannot sell this. No, you cannot collect money from us. No, yes, you must teach us. So this change is an all-round change. Look at them writing exams. When I came in here, Dr. Buju, you could recall, the first time I went with you, I entered, I said I cannot, no need for me to go around because this is not examination. We have the pictures, the videos are being displayed. People will stay in a class. Of course, this class shouldn't take more than 30 persons. You have 100 persons. You should ordinarily not more than 30, you have 100. People stay anyhow and copying in the name of examination. Five, four in a bench anyhow, and they squeeze themselves, whether they're with their textbooks, people are not interested. Yes, lecturers were not motivated. You understand that? You are owing somebody what you expect. But today, we've made it a standard. You could see online on social media, I was student posting examination in ONU Polytechnic. It's one per seat. One per seat. One person per seat. And they are writing the exam. HND, one, two will be finishing their own today. And they've written the exam for 2 weeks. The next people will write together. So we are making sure that I told them I cannot sign certificate where two persons combine to write one paper. And I will not sign that certificate. Your certificate will bear your name alone. Therefore, it should bear your name alone. I know I'm not ignorant of the fact that some lecturers who are who are morally bankrupt will resort to issue of collecting money to pay. I will come there. These things are one step at a time. But believe ye me, by God's grace, the time we live here, we have collected all these things. There's no way you will teach a student and they will not write. It's not possible. It is not possible. We don't want to teach them, we collect money from them, and then we take the knowledge they're supposed to gain, we frustrate them, and then we push them out of this place. And tomorrow, these people will be the ones that will come and teach my own children. As I am now, my own Zoma will be here and will be taught by people who do not learn anything. But it's not possible. So, if you think we are just destroying those other people's children, it is your children you are destroying or your grandchildren. Or anything relating to you are destroying because definitely it must come back to you. I was asking them a simple question yesterday. Coming into a hospital and then you now discover that the person that you helped to pass, who have not visited the classroom or didn't attend all this training and whatever, is now the chief medical director and he's not the one giving instruction. Go and dissect. What will you do? You will run mad. You just tell them, please, I don't know if you're getting me. So the system, some of them will go into House of Assembly, House of Representatives, become people who are making policies for us. Our legal system is bad, is bad. Why is it bad? People didn't attend classes one day are now chief judges. Somebody who have not known what to do, which is right, will now come and become a vice chancellor, a rector. What do you expect? It's the same thing now. So I think the issue of examination matters. Of course, they know that I'm a man who likes to follow the law. If you are caught, you just go home. There is no two ways about it. They will face the full weight of the law. There is no apologies to that. So it is not a one-sided game. It is here and it is here. If you are from here, you have the problem, you get it. You are from here, you get it. I don't think I have apologies as to that. Obabio from Boz FM. The grant, yes. We, as at Tuesday, the students have submitted and then is a review. We gave it out for us to have fairness. We decided not to be part of it, and the state government is also not part of it. Our students were asked to submit. Submissions have been done. We have collected their submissions, and then we have given it to a contractor, given it to a consultant who is now reviewing the process. And I believe before this April is over, they will get their fund. So that is that. That one is almost completed. Challenges we are facing now. And well, why I don't even like highlighting challenges is that there is no one I've mentioned that His Excellency does not attend to us speedily. So the only challenge we have is our ability to think out what to do. That's just a challenge we have. What we need at any time. So that's the challenge. So I don't see any challenge anywhere. Thank you very much. Then the Rector's Lodge. Where are you coming from now? As you left your house, Babi. Where are you coming from now as you left your as you left where from this place, where did you come from? I'm coming from my house. And the Rector's Lodge is my house. Do you now understand? So I live in my house, the same way you live in your house. Thank you very much. Sonny Wampo, um, Nation newspaper, auditorium, who is to commission? Of course, this is a state-owned institution, and whatever happens here belongs to the state. So the commissioning will be done tomorrow. We cannot preempt until we see who is going to commission tomorrow. But what thing is important is to be commissioned tomorrow. So let us not preempt who will commission it. And then capacity is a 350 capacity. It's more than that. Number of seats are more than that, but that was what it was built. I think we're going to see it from here. And then the money used, we use Naira to build it. The value of the Naira. Nigerian Naira. Mwakama of Kasad Television. Issue of skill development and collaboration with the state government. Of course, you know that the seat that is being used in this hall was built by us here. And some of these receptacles, you see, some, not all, the good ones were built here. The very good ones. And then the state government were in partnership with them to have some of them being built here also. Uh-huh. Like the Ministry of Education finished their training, capacity training. We are the one who did the training for them. So in terms of collaboration, I can tell you that we are collaborating with the Abia State government. In the area, matric, yes, issue of matriculation. Of course, our matriculation is tomorrow, the Friday, the fourth day in the month of April 2025. And then I know the question will come up is how many students are we matriculating? And of course, you should expect the same answer I gave you in the convocation. I will not say it, I will say it on the day of matriculation. So if I tell you today now, your report will finish today. No, keep it till tomorrow so I have what to report tomorrow. Because the only thing is that we're matriculating new students and not the old ones. So by tomorrow, you know the number of students we are matriculating. Okay, yes, those of you from Elephant Television, Ezemwafo, Chukwu Emeka, and Justice Michael. Your question one is congestion in the Abak campus. Yes, that is why the governor approved that we have some building at Osisioma campus as to solve this issue of congestion. As we're expanding in terms of department units and then student population, it's also important to also expand in terms of size and sites. But for the interim, we have built this lecture theater will solve a lot of problems. You might need to ask why, how. Before now, we are offering GST courses, maybe involving 4 departments. You'll be using 4 classrooms at the same time instead of using one hall at a time. So by the time those 4 are now in one, what it therefore means that you have gained 4 classrooms. I don't know if you're getting me. So the problem, of course, you will see if people move over there from next semester, you start seeing that this problem would have gone. Instead of having maybe use of English, 4 departments using 4 classrooms, those 4 departments can move into that hall at the same time, thereby creating space. And everybody will be, and all of you will learn the same thing at a time. Of course, every institution have auditorium for GST courses. This issue of A and B. I know A and B are this thing. Oh, why either akwụkwọ hapụrụ ndị nke m hapụrụ ndị nke m ka nri nke m makia nke m. No lecturer will not want to know. we will get to the extent where we'll be doing conference market. We are getting there. You finish your exam, we'll keep it. We'll call for conference marking. All of us will stay here and mark it. But the beauty of it is that you don't mark what you taught. Others in that your field will mark it for you. People must learn. We are going to a system that will be efficient. So we want to build a nation of leaders that will know what is right, appreciate what is right, and do what is right. Wealth is not by volume of what you have acquired, by but by level of impact you've made on the life of people around you. That is what some of us consider as wealth. So I want to thank you. I think issue of unbundling of the mass communication on campus and request for more space. Yes, we are doing that for you. And then of course we have you in mind. Mm, by the time we relax some of these buildings and then go to Sioma, there will be enough space, more than enough space, and more than enough and enough space. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, our dear rector, for going down memory